Throughout the Town Hall 10 free-to-play series, we managed to save important magic items from prior clan games and season challenge rewards. Last week, Clan Games produced another hero book and a special event that produced a book of building, both of which we cannot use at this time. But let's not waste them. With 10 million in season bank payout, I do believe it's time to go to Town Hall 11. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and use a book on our Town Hall right now and activate some boosts. Welcome to Town Hall 11, my friends. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Joe, and welcome to episode 1 of the Town Hall 11 free-to-play series. I know, right? It's been a really long journey. 9.5 months since we started this entire Clash of Clans walkthrough. Now, this episode is quite important because this is the first time that we will get to experience the new, improved Town Hall upgrade experience, meaning that we have 4 different boosts going on within our Town Hall level when we first initially upgrade. So we have about 5 days on hero boosts, laboratory boosts, resource boost, as well as the 4x star bonus, which was kind of already in effect, and we've already claimed our 10 million worth of resources from the season bank payout, and Clan War League starts in a couple of hours, so we need to make the most out of this and get started on upgrading and building some stuff live in this episode. So what's new and what are we building first? We need to spend some resources today. Now, what's interesting about Town Hall 11 is it is the final Town Hall level that is defenseless. There is no defense that comes from the Town Hall 11 itself. However, there is a new defensive building in the Eagle Artillery, and also we gain its counterpart, the Grand Warden. The Grand Warden is the 3rd edition in the hero lineup for Clash of Clans. And let's go ahead and get into the shop and take a look at what's new and what we're going to build first. So let's go ahead and get into buildings and traps. So Grand Warden, you know that guy is one of the first upgrades that you should do, and we're going to go ahead and place this guy over here and spend off some of that elixir, a lot of elixir as a matter of fact. And now you can see why I waited until the season bank payout. Everything's a little bit more expensive up here at Town Hall 11, and it takes a little while to upgrade things. Now let's go ahead and get back into that shop, and we got some new defenses coming along with this Town Hall level. We got an assortment of defenses here in the Expo, the Eagle Artillery, Wizard Tower, more wall pieces, woo, Cannon, and Archer Tower. So we're going to go ahead and start by dropping the cheaper, faster upgrading things in the Cannon and the Archer Tower. And the rest of these we are more than likely going to hold off on, and I'll explain why here in a moment. So we're going to drop that Archer Tower for exactly 1 minute, jump back into the shop, and let's take a look at the trap department. So we do gain a new trap at Town Hall 11, and I'll get into a little bit more explanation here in a moment on the tornado trap. This is actually a very important trap because it changes the dynamic of multiple defensive bases with its addition. Quite interesting trap, actually. It's kind of annoying for those of you that might not understand how it works. So we're going to go ahead and drop this over here. It's an instant upgrade. And I think we're going to go ahead and jump into a progress base. And if you need a progress base, I will link this down in the description below for you if you want to follow along. Now that we're over on the progress base, let's go ahead and get into our upgrade priority listing. Now remember, this is just a suggestion. You can upgrade your bases however you choose to do so, and I am only operating with exactly 5 builders. I have yet to unlock the 6th builder on the Builders Hall side. I will get there eventually. It's a long process. Now, if you're working with less builders, you can follow this priority listing, but you got to remember this is going to take a little bit longer. So over here on the right side of the base, you will notice that I do have some buildings laid out. These items will not be upgraded at Town Hall 11 in the Spell Factory, the Dark Spell Factory, and the Dark Elixir Storage, as well as these various traps over here on the right side lining the grass. We don't have to worry about these items. They are good to go. They maxed out at Town Hall 10. Now, you will notice over on the far left side of the screen, this is where we are going to begin in this listing, starting out with a lot of offense, just like we did at Town Hall 10 and we did at Town Hall 9. We got the heroes lined up. We're going to really focus in more on that Grand Warden in the beginning. This Grand Warden goes all the way to level 20 at Town Hall 11. So we're going to go ahead and put him down for upgrade yet again, right here for 12 hours. And we're trying to take advantage of the fact that we're getting ready to start Clan War Leagues. And we're also trying to take advantage of this boost that we have available. Next, we're going to go ahead and drop this Archer Queen and spend off some of our Dark Elixir and use a book of heroes that I've been holding on to since last season. So we're going to go ahead and use this, and we're going to go ahead and claim our clan games. For those of you that followed us through the Town Hall 10 free-to-play series, you were aware that I was waiting for that to be completed. That way I could claim the book that was in our clan games, because it's a little bit of a waste to overlook a free book, especially something like this. So we're going to go ahead and claim that free reward, and we got an additional book of heroes. Now, I don't believe that we have enough dark elixir to do that queen again, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and go into the treasury and grab some free loot that we have saved up from the 4 times bonus that's been going on for the last couple of days. So we're going to grab some of this elixir that we need to fill back up, and we're going to move into our laboratory. Now, here's the thing about the laboratory, guys. Even though you have a boost from the new edition by going to Town Hall 11, that does not mean that your troops are fully maxed out for that Town Hall level until we upgrade the laboratory. So we must upgrade the laboratory, and if you're going to do it by standard, you're going to spend about 6 million elixir, and you have to wait exactly 6 days. So it kind of defeats the purpose of the boost. So here's what we're going to do. We did gain a free book of building from that previous event, and we're going to go ahead and use that book of building to take advantage of this situation and be able to go into clan war leagues with maxed out level troops. Now, next in our lineup is going to be the clan castle. Now, the reason behind the clan castle upgrade is the fact that because we don't get another upgrade on the spell factory, we don't gain another spell slot. However, in the clan castle, we don't gain any additional troop capacity, but we do gain an additional spell storage capacity, meaning that instead of just taking a poison, or instead of just taking a freeze spell or just a lightning spell, now you can request 2 lightning spells or 2 freeze spells or a freeze spell and a poison spell, or even a rage spell or a heal spell. So this is a really good option, and it's a really good item to upgrade early. That way you get that offensive boost that you don't have at Town Hall 10 in the additional spell slot. So we're going to go ahead and drop this clan castle down for the entire time that it takes to upgrade, about 10 days. So following that upgrade, you more than likely notice that our resource collectors, they are empty. And that's one of the most intimidating pieces about moving on in the higher Town Hall levels, because everything gets a little bit more expensive and they are lengthy upgrades. They take a while to upgrade. So it's kind of one of those things where you need to make sure that you find a balance between upgrading elixir items and gold items. So that's why we have the new buildings built. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and build that wizard tower real fast, because we need to get started on it as well. And we're going to start trying to catch up these 3 items to the maximum level for Town Hall 10 first. Now, you're going to notice that we do have 4 army camps laid out, and that is on purpose because I need to go one by one and upgrade these, but they do cost exactly 7 million elixir apiece. But upgrading all 4 of these increases your camp housing to 260 housing space, and this is what ultimately separates you from Town Hall 10 to Town Hall 11 attacking. So a lot of the armies that you find here on YouTube will be most likely a 260 housing space, and you won't be able to mimic those armies immediately. So whatever you were using at Town Hall 10 is what you need to maintain using in the early stages of Town Hall 11 until you get some levels on these army camps. And with all that being said, larger camps equals stronger army. We all want to have a stronger army. You just got to make sure that you collect the elixir in order to upgrade those camps as quickly as possible. Now, that's going to be a very trying feat, and you need to think about the type of army that you're using. If you're using a high elixir army, then you might need to transfer into a high dark elixir army in order to steal that elixir fast. Now, speaking of resources, you're going to notice that we do have the elixir collectors and the gold storages side by side. We're going to jump between these 2 and get them upgraded as quickly as possible. That way, if we do come across an upgrade that does require the maximum capacity, it does not slow us down, as well as the thought process that runes, you got gold runes and elixir runes. You want to make sure that you get the most out of those runes, because these runes fill up your storages, and if you're not at max capacity, you will basically be wasting your runes, so to speak. So just something to think about there. Now, moving into the barracks and the dark barracks. Barracks, they're incredibly important. Everybody loves to do barracks, and you get a new troop at Town Hall 11. You get the Electro Dragon as well as the Ice Golem. Now, both of these items are very, very important at Town Hall 11, and they do have a place. A lot of players like to use the Electro Dragon on defense and offense, but when you upgrade these barracks, you need to make sure that you go one at a time. You should have learned these things at Town Hall 11 or Town Hall 10, Town Hall 9, is that when you do more than one barracks at a time, it slows down the production value of your army, and you will not be able to raid as often, and it really makes you just have to wait a really long time for a training army, and it's really, really annoying. So you got to make sure that you upgrade these one at a time, and they're going to cost exactly 4 million elixir a piece for the standard barracks and 6 million for the dark barracks. So that's going to be a lot of wait time there, as well as very expensive upgrades. So this is where you're going to diversify between your elixir and your gold upgrades. And if you have gold sitting, make sure you just start dumping it into your walls just to get rid of it. We're not worried about defenses right away. So up until this point, you probably realize, if you're paying attention to the timelines here with these upgrades, we're talking about a month, maybe a month and a half, almost 2 months worth worth of upgrading in just this first section. It's going to be a very long time. Now, after the Clan War Leagues, we're really going to focus in on the Archer Queen and the Grand Warden. I want to make sure that I get my 8 stars in on the Clan War Leagues. That way I can maximize the amount of medals that I can claim from the Clan War Leagues. But then once that's complete, we're going to drop our Archer Queen and the Grand Warden, and we're going to try to get them to maximum level as quickly as the game will allow. The Archer Queen goes all the way to level 50. The same thing applies to the Barbarian King, but we're going to wait on that Barb King until the Queen is complete. Now, over here in this section, down here on the bottom side of the base, you're going to notice that I have the Elixir Collectors, the Gold Mines, the Dark Elixir Drills. Do not forget about these. Go ahead and get them knocked out after you get a lot of your offense complete. That way you do have a good sizable passive income while you're offline. Now, if you do not play a lot, then I would recommend knocking these out probably in the earlier stages of Town Hall 11. That way you can have a nice sizable passive income while you're offline. You come back on the game, log in, and you're like, wow, I can fill up my storages really fast like this. But again, it's just a good method on claiming that passive income. Now, about after the first month, I think I will be moving into dropping my Eagle Artillery up here by the Inferno Towers. The Eagle Artillery really sets you apart from Town Hall 10s, and it's also one of the things that intimidates Town Hall 10s from hitting you is that Eagle Artillery. So once I build it, I'm more than likely going to be upgrading it to level 2 immediately and making it even more challenging for opponents that are going to hit my base. And the same thing applies with the rest of this upgrade priority list. We're going to move into the Inferno Towers, the Expos, and the Wizard Towers, because a lot of the predominant armies at Town Hall 11 are either a Balloon army or a Miner army, as well as the Electro Dragon army. That's why you see the air defenses followed by the hidden Teslas and then the Archer Towers. Now, the final upgrades that we will see in the defensive priority list will be the cannons, bomb towers, and mortars, because they're only focused at ground armies, and we really need to think about the Electro Dragon armies and those Balloon armies when we're trying to defend. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish up this video with an army that you can use to get you started. Now, this is all personal preference. Use whatever you were using at Town Hall 10 to get you some loot. Now, unfortunately, once you start looking in global, you're going to start finding a lot more bases with the Eagle Artillery. So you need to understand how that works. And realistically, if you're working without your Grand Warden, you're still technically a Town Hall 10. So you would approach the base the same way you would do if you were in a Clan War Leagues mismatch and you had to go up against a Town Hall 11. Then that's basically what we're going to be doing here. Now, one of the coolest things about the perks is the fact that we get to work with higher level troops, higher level defenses, and everything just basically operates the same exact way. So let's go ahead and drop a rage spell on that queen and get her inside the base. Now, we do have to worry about these buildings. It's more than likely going to move her around the outside since the baby dragon. We only brought one baby dragon, but anyways, that's kind of beside the point. Let's go ahead and drop the king over here to do a little bit of funneling. This queen is going to work her way into an enemy king as well as a single target Inferno Tower. Now, we have to be aware of how many troops we're placing because now we have to worry about activation of that Eagle Artillery. Let's go ahead and get that freeze spell ready, and the queen's working. Let's go ahead and freeze that for a second, give that queen a little bit of time to get in on it. She's going to take down that Inferno Tower. We need to go ahead and start getting some miners in to start clearing out these buildings and try to get that queen in on the Eagle Artillery. You're going to notice that we do activate the Eagle at the point of dropping all these miners. So again, without the Grand Warden, we're not really having the ability to counteract the Eagle Artillery right this second. So this is something that you do have to worry about while you're working on upgrading your Grand Warden. Queen is going to target that Eagle Artillery and take care of it, but we do have to worry about moving our miners through the base, and that's what our heal spells are for. Queen's ability is still available. Let's go ahead and use her ability to get rid of that Town Hall and the enemy queen. Oh my goodness, couldn't talk right there. And she's going to be able to assist with taking down some of these additional buildings, but she will find her way into that single target Inferno Tower here momentarily. So let's go ahead and drop a heal spell over here. So again, the point of it is the collection of resources, not necessarily trying to 3-star right away, because again, if we're going to take on a Town Hall 11, we need to make sure that we have most of the components as well as Clan Castle troops, and I didn't bring either one of those because I want to be a little bit more relatable for you guys out there that do not have the ability to get those Clan Castle troops, and this was a little bit more of a challenging base to negotiate to get us started. But anyways, this is a good army to get you started with the collection of resources. That way you can complete those 4x star bonuses and fill up your treasuries as quickly as possible. Let me go ahead and end the raid right there. I'm sure some of you out there were probably expecting perfect raids right away, but again, we're missing some components to get us started as a new Town Hall 11, so we need to be realistically thinking that we're still technically a Town Hall 10 until we obtain full maximum capacity of those components to include clan castle troops as well as the Grand Warden. And on that note, I do believe that's going to finish this up for today. We did not talk about the super troops just yet. We will talk about that in upcoming episodes. I think the next episode is going to be more of a laboratory upgrade priority listing, because that's a little bit more concerning to most players than the super troops right this second. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see the Town Hall 10 free-to-play series from the very beginning, or you want to see any of the other series, click one of those links over there, and we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.